Hey,
Hello,
welcome to another Manor House podcast. My name is Natalie.
and I'm Tino, and today we're joined by a very special guest,
What?
all the way from, I want to say sunny Australia, but I actually don't know if it's actually
Yeah.
sunny.
Not
Do you
today.
know?
Not today. It's not
Not
behaving.
today.
Okay.
Do you know what's funny? It's actually sunny in Doncaster. It's like we've had a week of sunshine,
The
and I'm like,
UK is going to be about
yeah.
20 degrees.
So,
No
maybe
way.
we still need sunshine. Who knows? Uh,
We've had just drizzly rain for the last like 5 days, so I think we've swapped weather patterns.
yeah, we definitely have. We definitely have. But today we're joined by, I'm gonna let Leslie say this because she's been practicing.
Oof, Calum Entermann.
Yep, that's it.
There we
Correct.
go. Well done.
Okay, cool. Because I butcher everyone's names on a regular basis. But I've been listening to you, I think, ever since. I think your auntie Sandra.
Yep.
Am I correct? Yeah. The Sabbath sing along. So my parents, that was their Sabbath watch every time. So we'd be watching with them. And then I think you and Phoebe, I think, appeared on one of them like years ago. And we were
Yeah,
like,
back in
wait,
COVID.
yeah. And I was like, his voice, fearful. So then I just decided to stalk you. And then you had music and I was like, oh my days. So yeah, I've been listening to you ever since COVID, and I still was like, I don't know if I've said your name right or not, but here we are. Like,
Yeah.
you're on my
That's so
playlist.
cool. Wow.
Yeah.
No, thanks for doing that deep dive. Thanks for supporting my music. It's really cool to be chatting with you guys today.
Yeah.
Likewise.
Callum, can you give us just a brief introduction into who you are and what you do?
Yeah, so I am the middle of three siblings. I grew up Christian, went to Christian school, and now I actually am a teacher at the Christian school I went to as a kid. And I teach music and English. And I've been doing it for 5 years now. So I feel like I'm slowly starting to get the hang of it. And I just find it so exciting to be paid to talk about my passion of music. And I just get to like share what I've learnt with the kids and encourage them and see the light bulbs flicker in their minds as we start to like knock down some of those technical barriers in music. And yeah, I just think it's so awesome being paid to talk about what I love.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's really cool.
We can really tell that you love music, but where did that come from? Like, how did we get here to you actually like making music and things like that?
Yeah, that's a great question. I do love music. I feel like every single day, I'll always have music playing. There'll always be a song going through my head, and sometimes I actually have to take a step back and actually seek silence because my default is always music. I guess I got into it through, you mentioned before, my auntie Sandra, who runs the sing along. So her, my father, and my auntie, they were called the Entermann Trio back in, like the late 90s and 2000s. And they would just go to different churches and they would sing a whole bunch of hymn covers and they would all do it in this beautiful three-part harmony. And we'd always have family worship. And so growing up, hearing all that music around me, and then they would sometimes get us kids to come and do little solos in their songs. And I remember my auntie asked me to come and do a solo on one of their albums, and I think I must have been 5, and going into the studio and singing a little verse from the song Into My Heart. And I just remember thinking it was the most alien environment with these big, massive microphones and like the two-way glass wall. And I remember it being kind of scary but fun. And ever since then, I was just like, wow, there's a whole world out there, and you can end up coming through the earphones of someone else. And I just think
Yeah.
that's so cool. You sing it once, and it's just laid down in stone forever.
Yeah,
And you can go to it anytime you need that healing and you need that sort of um help for your soul.
Aw,
that's amazing.
that is so cool.
I feel like now we have to go we need to find that
That video,
that song.
Into My Heart. Yeah.
Yeah,
Someone's
I don't
gonna
know.
have it.
It might be on Spotify deep down somewhere. I don't know if Auntie's put that album on Spotify, but it could be. You can hear little 5-year-old me.
Yeah, I'm gonna look directly at the camera. Auntie, please, we need.
If it's not out yet,
Yeah.
release it.
At least send it to us. You don't have to send it to everyone else. At least send it to us. We'll listen.
Well,
Yeah.
keep it. We got to keep it hidden because I feel like my year 8 students will bully me if they get a hold of that recording.
That's
They already
fair.
give me enough trouble as it is.
Yeah, year 8 is tough.
Yeah,
Can't lie.
yeah. That's a tough
Yeah,
crowd.
they're
tough crowd.
ruthless. They're ruthless.
Yeah. I love that. I think we also spoke to Doe recently, and she was saying that her parents, siblings, and like her parents were also in a group and traveling and singing in different places. And then she also got pulled into that. So that's how Forever Jones started. And then now she's an artist by herself. And it's really cool because, I mean, so many people we've spoken to have spoken about how they grew up with their parents or their aunties and their uncles, like their family singing in church. And then that's kind of almost been passed down to them. And it's like, you see the love that they have, you see the love that you have for it, which is super cool. So I guess an encouragement to all the parents that sing who gave up singing because they had children. Don't give up singing. Your children might follow you in your footsteps, you know?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you,
Yeah.
Dad, for singing. We love you. So there's a few songs that you have. Well, there's a whole EP that you have, which is top notch. I think the most streamed song and the song that everyone is asking us to ask you about is Do It Afraid. First time I heard this song, I think I cried. I admit too much on this podcast that I cry at things. You know, disclaimer, guys, I don't cry often. I cry at music. I don't really cry at anything else.
I'm the same. Yeah, only music will bring tears.
Thank you. Right. Like other things you're just like, yeah, okay. But yeah, Do It Afraid, I think that song hits a lot of people. I'd like to say where it hurts, but it's more so when you're in that situation, like the song speaks to so many people and everyone's situation is going to be different. Yeah. Can you talk us through the process of that?
I think I want to know the story, what was happening in life. when you
Yeah.
wrote.
Yeah, sure. No worries. So yeah, Do It Afraid. That song came out in my second year of university while I was down at Avondale Adventist College. And it came from actually a really miserable and a difficult place. Which I think is just the alchemy of God, you know? He's able to bring like these gems out of such terrible situations. I just remember, yeah, just feeling quite low, quite miserable, and feeling a lot of pain for my things that I was going through at that time. And one of my good friends, Kemi Ogendi, she was showing me like she's an incredible pianist, an incredible songwriter, and I'd never really written a song before, and I was just in awe of her artistry. And I was talking to her about her process and things like that. And yeah, she really encouraged me one day. She was like, "You talk about songs and you talk about music so much, but why don't you try writing?" And I told her, "No, no, no. Like, I don't know how to do that. I don't even know what the chords are necessarily. You know, like I'm a vocalist primarily, and I don't really know how to. I did piano growing up, but it didn't really click." And she
Mm.
said, "Go home during break and just write something." And I was like, the lyrics are hard. What do I write about the lyrics? They're always cringe. And she says, like, just be honest. Just be honest and write what's on your heart. And I went home during break and she made me promise that I'd give it a try. And during break, I was like, okay, well, I've got about 6 weeks to have something. I better go back with something. And I just remember thinking, like, I had this conscious thought, like, Lord, in my heart and in my feelings right now, it just feels like just jet black hurt and pain. And I feel lonely. I feel quite anxious. I remember there were times at college quite often where I was actually just scared to get out of bed and leave my room. I didn't feel like I had many friends and I just felt anxious. And so I just decided to try and articulate how awful I was feeling and put it into lyrics with some metaphors. And then I wanted to tell me, what would God want to tell me in this space and in this time? So yeah, verse 1 of the song is just me trying to articulate through imagery and metaphors what it feels like to be inside my head right now. And so yeah, there was a line from Macbeth from Shakespeare that I studied in year 12, and Macbeth goes, "All full of scorpions is my mind." A very famous line from him, and I was like, yeah, that's such a fascinating, like, terrifying imagery of like scorpions crawling around in your head.
Yeah,
And I thought
no.
that's such a I was like, I can kind of resonate with that. And so
Mm,
that's where the first line came from, a head full of claws. Like there's like something dangerous and threatening inside your mind. And I found it kind of scary when your biggest enemy is like internal, or it can
yeah,
feel like it's internal. Um, and it's just all lies from the devil. So yeah, I was just articulating. It felt like I was in a box but had no doors and I couldn't get out. Uh, and then I felt like I was in a song that didn't have a key and it had no time signature. There was no rhythm, no rhyme. And so I was just honest with exactly how I felt. And I felt like I was like serving up my heart on a platter in that song. And even
mm,
now to hear it, it's confronting. And to know that there's people out there who've listened to it. Um, yeah, it's just yeah, it's very confronting lyrics. But I think when it's put to like a melody, it can kind of like people can zone out and not really listen to how terrifying those lyrics actually are. Because yeah, it came from a really
God
difficult
bless.
spot. And
Mm,
then yeah, that chorus comes in, but you're here by my side and you're here through this fire, and it doesn't matter what I feel, I'm still gonna choose to do it afraid.
mm,
And I love that line of
yeah.
doing something afraid. I don't know where I heard it, but I was just like, yeah, like we can't wait until the bad feelings go before we
Mm,
start showing up. I can't wait until I feel good to actually leave my dorm room. Um, I just have to sometimes just gotta like push through and step out, you know?
yeah.
And it's easier said than done, but that's where the song came from. And I remember coming back from break and I just sort of played chords. I didn't actually know what chords I was playing. And I think it's in the key of A minor or something. I'm not sure. But I brought it to my friend Kemi and I was like tinkering along on this piano as a little voice memo. And I was like, Kemi, like, this is what I've got so far. And she was like, okay, hop off of the piano. And she just like she took over this arrangement. And I just remember hitting record on the voice memo while she played and I sang. And oh, it was such a God moment. Things just
Mm,
fell through. And since then I've polished up on my music theory. Now I actually do know what chords are under there. But I think, yeah, you don't have to be like you don't have to know all the music theory to write a song. I think that's so
mm,
important because I literally
Mm,
didn't know what I was playing, but I knew what I felt and I just gave it a crack anyway. And God
mm.
filled in the blanks and with a friend helped me get there.
yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's really amazing. I'm curious what almost like the change or what happened after you wrote the song in terms of how you were feeling and what was happening in your life. Because you were almost like the first recipient of that message, that's in that song. So yeah, how did your life change because of that song?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. I think when I do think of that song every now and then, the line that stands out to me is I'll do it with his words in my head, one promise for each fear. And I'm still always scared. Like I think I anxiety is not something that necessarily leaves, you know, and
Mm,
things like
yeah.
depression and mental health, these can be ongoing struggles, you know, and just because,
Yeah.
you know, just because you admitted it once doesn't mean it's gone. But I think that song still works on my heart because
Mm,
when I am scared, I need to actively go, okay, I have a fear. What's one promise from scripture that can match it? And actually like help me cope with this fear or hopefully one day live above it. Um, yeah, that idea of using scripture to speak truth back to my reality and
mm.
to not let fear have the final word.
Yeah.
I want to say thank you for writing that song, even though you thought you couldn't, because honestly, the impact it's had on so many people. And like, even not even just speaking for other people, the impact it's had on me. I'm not even kidding. I'm not even just saying this to hype you up. Like, whenever I'm feeling just anxious or afraid, that is my go-to song. Like, if I'm like I'm panicking and just like, no, like, God, please just speak to me, because I'm like, ah, and then I play this song and I'm like, okay, Natalie, just listen to what God's saying, because honestly, the words.
Mm.
I'm a person who listens to lyrics. Like, the song can be a great song, but if your lyrics are dry, I'm like, nah, I'm sorry, I can't hear this song. But the melody's beautiful, but the lyrics, like, they cut deep in the way that they should.
Yeah.
And we know that's only God. Like, He inspired that song, so thank you for the
Yeah.
obedience and saying yes to writing it. And thank you, Kemi, for
Yeah, thank
encouraging
you,
him.
Kemi, as well.
Yes. None of this, we wouldn't have this interview if it wasn't for Kemi. She definitely just like showed me what was possible and helped me knock down some of those mental glass ceilings and barriers I had. But the word you used there, obedience, yeah, I definitely feel like I don't really feel ownership of it, the song. And I know lots of artists say that, but it just felt like something I can't really take credit for. Um, because yeah, like the light comes from God and we just reflect it back.
Mm.
Um, yeah, and I was in a very vulnerable state, but I guess this song is proof that God does work in mess,
Yeah.
like, and if we just bring mess before him and if we just show up with our broken, shattered selves, he can actually piece something nice together. And I use that as a reminder, like when I feel super down and low, like that song stands as like a testament or a model statue as like he's done it before. He's brought something good out of pain and misery and hurt, and he can do it again.
Love that.
That's amazing.
You Afraid is on an EP. So you got a bunch of other songs as well, which from someone who was like, I don't think I can write, and then just writing a whole EP. I mean, how did
Yeah,
that happen?
yeah. What happened? What?
I guess I kind of got a taste for it. I got addicted after that first song. I thought like I felt like I came alive when I was songwriting, and I thought that first one was a fluke, and I didn't know if I could ever write another song again. I just remember
That's
telling
funny.
Kemi like, I don't know how that happened. It kind of I'd hit the voice memo as I'm driving along in my car and like just sing how I felt. And I was like, I think it was a fluke. I don't know if I can do it again. And if I can't, that's okay. If I can't, that's fine, but I'll try. I'll keep trying.
Hmm.
And yeah, by God's grace, like that process of songwriting has slowly become less like
Daunting.
what's the word? Daunting and less like mysterious.
Mm.
And just like anything, like learning any new skill, I wish someone told me songwriting is not some magical like gift that only a few have. It's something that if you just keep showing up at the piano or the guitar or whatever, you keep singing into your voice memos on your phone, like things will start to take shape. And yeah, I think that's
Mm.
a cool shift that happens.
I like that. And w where does Do It Afraid sit in the kind of the context of the rest of the songs of that EP? What's I guess, the story and the journey of that particular project?
Yeah, so that EP was my first one back in, I think it was 2019. I think that's when it came out. And it's called My Side. That's the name of the EP. And it's called that because it's kind of like a manifesto when I realized that God is actually not against me. God is on
Mm,
my side.
You're sad.
And he's
mm,
not a God that stands in judgment, which I for a long time believed. He's not a God waiting for you to just get your life and your act together. He's actually a God of compassion that fully understands you and is rooting for you. And I think once I realized that epiphany, um, I was just like, it was this album's like a celebration of realizing like I don't have to be scared of God. I don't have to be scared of life. Because the Almighty's on my side. Like, come at me. Who can stand against me,
Mm.
yeah.
So I guess that's kind of like the main narrative of that EP, and each song is exploring like a moment of that, you know, like Do Afraid's like exploring the pain of like your lowest low. And then something like Fly, that's another song on the EP. And it's just like full euphoria, full celebration. It has like, oh, it has like 80 different like tracks of different
Oh
instruments and
wow.
harmonies and stuff.
Wow.
And it's just, we just like went to town and it was just all the stops pulled out and it's just fun celebration of like realizing that now that God's on my side, we can fly, we can rise above anything.
Mm,
Yeah. That's amazing.
that's cool.
And then I think my question now is obviously we've had that journey of, and I think it's quite introspective. What's been your songwriting journey since then to where you are now?
Yeah, great question. So that first one's very like very autobiographical, very personal, sort of like a diary entry.
Mm,
Um, and since then, in the second EP I released, called Try Less, I was starting to dabble with a little bit of like telling other people's stories, not just my own perspective. And the last track on that EP is called Ruth's Song. So I've been experimenting with writing some stories about some biblical characters who stand as like examples and inspiration for us. And I loved that monologue that Ruth gives, you know,
mm,
where you go, I'll go, your people will be mine, your God is my God, that kind of monologue. And I was just like, this girl is incredible. Just the way, like, she lost all stability in her life. She
mm,
lost, um, like, she was in the midst of pain and her lowest low, but she still, like, makes this insanely selfless act to stay by Naomi's side, her mother-in-law, even when it was to her own detriment.
mm,
And I was just like, these people who are vulnerable and they're going through pain, they make these decisions and it looks like no one realizes. I mean, who was around her in Moab during that time? Who knows? And I just was obsessed with this idea that you in your lowest moment when no one sees, when no one actually can witness the pain that you're going through. And I think pain that's not witnessed and validated by others is just sort of amplified because no one can
mm.
say, "Hey, I can see you going through something terrible."
Right.
But
Yeah.
when it's a solo pain and a solo struggle, to just remember that the Almighty remembers and the Almighty sees that pain.
Mm,
That's what that song explores. Her like defiance to stay with her like mother-in-law and to be loyal, and the fact that God sees that decision and He honors
mm.
that, and one day He'll remember it. And like
I love
now the
that.
whole world remembers Ruth's like vow
Yeah.
and
Oh,
Oh
Ruth's
100.
yeah.
integrity.
Yeah.
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 No, I love that EP as well. Try less. I think the lyrics are like, you should try less, trust more. There'll be up days for
Mm.
yeah. I'm like, I can't lie. Your lyrics, are you willing to write for other people as well? You know, I said to you before, my friend wrote a song and was like, I really want to pitch this to Calum. I'm like, yes, you should. And I'm
That is
also
so
like, I
cool.
think Calum should also pitch songs to the rest of us because, yeah, like, oh, we just,
Amazing writer.
like you
Yeah.
said before, oh, we just cover your songs
Yeah.
and be like, yeah, guys, this is just a good song.
Look, I'm down for anything. I'm down for anything. I love deadlines. Deadlines make me crank into gear, and I'd love to experiment. You might get something awful. You might get something like a
That's
terrible
okay.
draft. But my philosophy is like, as long as something's on the page, it's a successful day, even if it's bad.
I
I
love
like that.
that.
I absolutely love
So
that.
tomorrow we look forward to the
Yeah.
songs that you've written.
It's gonna be a long
Jokes.
night. It's gonna be a long night.
Yeah, I think that's unfair because it's morning for us, but it's
Oh
nearly
yeah,
nighttime
yeah,
for
true,
him.
true. Well,
So
sorry, we'll give you some
yeah.
more time.
Yeah.
So right now, you are in a group with Phoebe, your sister, and Elliot, I think your friend,
Yes,
called Atone Trio.
yes.
I have been gassed and so excited for the songs to come out. I'm like, this you were posting like little videos on social media and I was like, we need the album now. And
Yeah,
What a Friend We Have in Jesus has already come out.
yeah.
Yeah. So what's that been like? Rearranging hymns and, you know, giving a little jazzy feel to things as a
It's
group.
been such a fun experience. I think being a solo artist has its perks, and you can definitely just like be in your own world. But I think like assembling a little Avengers elite crew who all have their different strengths can really just fly you to next levels. And it's been so exciting working with my sister, who's just, I think, a musical genius. She has incredible taste, insane vocals. She's always been beside me on my music journey in the background, helping out with vocals in the background of my first projects. And then Elliot Kazari, he he's this incredible jazz pianist with insane vocals that he just like hides. Like, what on earth? Where have you been hiding all this talent? He's just this multidisciplinary, talented musician. And the three of us together, yeah, we love the lyrics of hymns. And I guess what's really cool about hymns is you can cover them and you don't have to pay royalties if they're in the public domain.
True.
So
Yeah.
I feel
So we should
like
cover more hymns. Yeah,
it's where it's at. There's so much
yeah.
theological depth. There's so much beauty about God and us in those old hymns. And the other thing is the the Christian audience is familiar with hymns, and you don't have to try and peddle original content. So everyone's familiar with it, but we're putting a twist on it. And I think we want to try and bring those old classic hymns to a new audience, because I've got friends that don't know like some of the most beautiful hymns, like How Great Thou Art. You know, they've just grown up in contemporary Christian churches that don't sing hymns.
Mad.
And I'm just like, guys, there's a gold mine back here. You know, if we just change a bit of these chord
100.
progressions, get rid of some of those clunky melodic runs or some of those odd like phrasings, and we can just like let's reinvent this, let's respin it, you know?
Yeah.
I love that.
That's so exciting.
Yeah.
You mentioned a bit on like working with new people. I'm so curious. What is it like when you kind of have an idea and you're bringing it to the group, especially from a solo artist point of view?
Yeah, that's a good question. It's definitely humbling, because you know it's you don't just have to. Normally, when you're a solo artist, you just please yourself. If you like the idea, you can roll with it. But so often you bring your heart on a platter. You've been working for the last 6 hours on this song idea, and you give it to the group, and like you just see the red receipt happen, and you're just like, oh,
Okay.
right, okay. And they're like, oh, it has potential. We need to change a fair bit in it. And you're like, okay, all right. But hey, I think that it's like I tell my students when I'm like drafting their work, you know, you need those external opinions
Yeah.
to like cut off some of the stuff you can't see with your blind spots. It
Yeah.
it definitely is a next level of yeah, it requires a bit of humility and patience. But I tell you what, some of the ideas we've been able to come up with as a group, I would never be able to do on my own. And I'm glad. I'm glad for this new little chapter
Mm,
exploring artistry as a collective. It definitely like takes things to a new level.
yeah. We've spoken to a lot of people who are like they have consistent people that they write with or that they work with, and it's like changed how they do music and how creative or how they approach creativity. So yeah, it's really interesting, and I'm quite excited to see and listen to more music from the trio.
Mm.
And
Definitely.
Yeah.
I feel like this trio, we all have very different skills. Like we specialize in different skill areas. And so we
Mm.
cover each other's blind spots really well. And it's like I think it's like divine appointment that we're working together. And I'm really excited to get the album out there as soon as possible.
Yeah.
And for you guys to all hear it.
We're excited. I've got a bit of an odd question. How do your I guess your parents and your auntie feel about the trio? Because I feel like you've carried on the family tradition of being in a trio.
Yes. We were kind of aware of that, trying to make the trio and like think up a name, because we couldn't really be the Enterman show because that was already taken.
Part 2. Yeah.
They are they are our biggest supporters, particularly my auntie Sanj. She's just always in our corner, always rooting for us, um, and just like wanting us to be able to take this as big as we can go. Uh,
Mm.
she's such a mentor, and they're so supportive of us. and they're kind of excited that it's a new generation taking on the torch, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah,
defo.
I absolutely love that.
And yeah, you're running with it because it's reached us in the UK, and we spoke to Anna. So Anna was also one who recommended speaking to you, but also
Nice.
we've had multiple other people from the UK being like, "Please speak to Calum."
Yeah.
So
That's so
yeah,
cool.
your music is saturating the Adventist space in the UK, and hopefully wider as well. So
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
hopefully wider. Hopefully wider. I think people
Yeah.
definitely need to hear it.
yeah,
All right.
And thanks to
I've
your ministry, I just respect what you guys are doing so much, like giving so many people a platform and like getting the stories behind all of the music. And I just think that's really
no,
sure.
thoughtful
thank
and
you.
very cool.
Thank you so
It's
much.
really selfish, actually. That's like we do it for selfish reasons
Yeah,
because it's our playlist, and we're like, guys, we want to hear about these songs because they have an impact on us, and I'm sure, there's a story behind them.
yeah,
But
yeah.
thankfully, other people benefit.
Yeah. I mean, it's like
That's
what you
awesome.
said of like how, you always listen to music and I'm listening to music. I'm so curious. I'm like, what was the reason for that and this and this? Like, what was happening? Why did they put this together in this particular way? So,
Tina will do
yeah,
song breakdowns and like we'll just journal and be like, hey, so this could mean this, and this is like related to this, and here's a scripture that I think this is related to. Um,
it's like
yeah,
it
he's
was
very
like
good.
I remember it was like my favorite part of English class when you had like the anthology of like poems and stuff, and you had to annotate them and like look for different links and references that they put in. And I'm like, this is great. And then I get to do that in Bible study when you're looking at a particular passage. And I was just like, why can I not do this in music? And I started doing it, and I'm like, this is pretty cool. I kind of like it.
Because analysis is cool. I need to tell
Yeah.
I hope my year eights are listening. Analysis is cool. English is cool. Look at the lyrics, guys. Tino says it's cool, so
Yeah.
it must be.
I'm forgetting that you're out here saying this to an English teacher. Of course he's
Yeah.
gonna agree.
Wait, I'm gonna like screen record that little soundbite of yours and like put it in
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
big screen for the kids on loop.
We'll send it, yeah.
Yeah, we'll send it to you. Actually, by the time this podcast comes out, our new series would have come out where we're doing song breakdowns. But Callum, I'm gonna send you an early look so you can have a look at it, where I actually go through a song and do the annotations as I usually do them.
Yep, sweet.
Thank you so much for making the
Okay.
time to talk to me. That's so nice of you guys.
No, honestly, we're super excited for it. I was saying to my parents, I'm like, we're speaking to Calum this week, and my mom was like, oh my days.
Oh, that's so
So
cool. Say
we've
hi
got a
to
little
Mum for me.
fan club
Say
over
hi to
here,
her.
which is fun. I will do. I'll put it in, just like, Mom, Calum says hi.
Definitely. Please do.
So will do. And hopefully you'll be in the UK at some point.
Yes.
We'll
I love the
we'll
UK.
hijack you.
I've been there twice, but only to London, so I want to explore a little bit more outside.
Oh yeah, come to Doncaster. There's nothing in Doncaster apart from us in the studio. So,
Hey,
I mean,
that's
there's
worth
something.
going there.
Yeah,
Definitely.
you can crash at our house.
Oh, that'd be cool. I mean, my
Who
brother lives
else?
in Finland, so when I go to visit them, generally we go through Heathrow, and I love stopping by and exploring.
Uh,
How far is Doncaster
hmm.
from Heathrow?
It's about 3 to 4 hour drive, but on the train it's like an hour and a half or an hour and 45. We go on tangents regularly on this podcast. Everyone should know
Hey, I'm all
that.
down for it. I'm down for it.
I love it. Cool. So yeah, we'll ask you the last question, which was, who would you recommend that we speak to on the podcast next, and which song of theirs would you want to hear about?
Have you guys had Kemi Ogendi yet?
Not yet.
Because I'd definitely say Kemi. I feel like her artistry and her music is definitely what kickstarted my journey.
Mm.
And yeah, she's one of the best poets that I know. Her like attention to detail with lyrics is like second to none. And yeah, just her musicianship. It's just amazing. And the
Mm.
way she sees the heart of God and the way she articulates that,
Mm.
that's worth exploring more. It'd be great if you guys could chat with her.
Honestly, she's been on our bucket list since we started as well, the podcast. So definitely. But also, she's very hard to find.
That is true. That is true. Yeah, she embodies the real artist, you know, the one that's like just like in the shed working
Yeah,
away, you know, like
yeah,
with the blinders on, just like honing the craft. Which I think that's
definitely.
what we all want to be. We all just want to reach that level one day.
Yeah. But then also we're like, oh, we also need people to find us. So that's the hard
That is
part.
true. It's a catch
Yeah,
22.
it is a catch-22. But I mean, since you are good friends with Kimmy, um, please help us out. We're counting
Yeah.
on you and Anna to help us out.
Well,
Be
look,
like, Kimmy, we want to speak to you, man.
who knows how strong my influence is, but I tell you what, if anyone's listening here and they have not heard Cameo Gendi's music, do yourself a favor. Look up Cameo Gendi. You will not regret that decision.
Definitely.
She
And
is
I
awesome.
think you guys, I've heard her singing on your songs as well.
Yes.
So I think try less. I I think
Yeah, she's
she's
in
got
that one.
some backing vocals on there.
She's in How Can
Um,
I,
yeah.
and she's
You
also
guys
in the
have a
Lions
song.
and Tigers song.
Yes. And
Yeah,
I think
she
Anna has a
takes.
song, Reply to Ecclesiastes,
Oh yeah,
um,
uh-huh.
that I heard your voice and I was like, that's definitely Callum's voice. And I think Kemi's on there as well, yeah. So I was like, this is so cool. Like, just this is goals. We all want to just be out here with our separate music, but also coming together as friends. Like, yeah, so guys,
Yes.
we're all on the same project. Let's go. So,
Yeah, a party wave, you know? Everyone surfs the same
yes,
wave, we all share it
yes,
together. That's the best kind of song.
that's what we want. Is there anyone else that you would recommend?
Um, have you guys interviewed Melissa Otto?
No, but she's also on the bucket list.
Melissa Otto, she's awesome. She was down at Avondale University while I was down there, and she was another influential figure. I grew up listening to her music.
Mm,
She has a couple albums, and they are just very high quality Christian music that is just, yeah, exploring what it's like to be a Christian, falling in love with Jesus, and the theology in it is beautiful, and it's very personal work.
yeah,
Um, yeah, she's definitely another
she's
one
very cool.
worth getting in touch with for sure and listening
Defo.
to.
We will definitely be reaching out to her. Thank you so much.
No
Um,
worries.
we look forward to what is coming next. And yeah, we're following along for the journey and see you in the UK or see you in Australia. It depends which comes first, you know,
Mhm.
whether we travel or you travel or in
Yeah,
Finland.
whichever. Definitely. And I appreciate so much the support that you guys have given to my journey. And yeah, it's just been so cool chatting with you guys.
Likewise. Thank you, everyone. And yeah, we'll see you on the next podcast.
Thanks, guys. See yous.